everybody. Welcome back to some Bad Company. Okay, so this is kind of fun. Done all the Paul Rogers Swan Song years Bad Company albums, great albums. Then I just found out, thanks to my buddy Pat, Can't Get Enough, a tribute to Bad Company, has come out. And ooh, the bands that are on here. First off, some of the bands on here I knew before listening to this. Some of the bands on here I did not know before listening to this. Sadly, there's very little in here except for the details of who's in the album. They made these books so small, and the printing is so tiny. Holy crap. And white on gray, well, it's technically a picture of leather underneath it, but really bad design. You know, should have put at least a different color. Either use a different color of leather or put a slightly different color of lettering in there. Like, I mean, the bold lettering is even kind of small. I'm getting old. Old man complaints. I'm sorry, folks. All right. So let's get into the bands and the track listing. We've got Hardy, which I kind of know. I don't know a lot of Hardy. I know I've heard the odd thing here and there. Doing Ready for Love. Obviously, this is not better than the Bad Company version, but it's really good. I actually enjoyed it. It gets the album going right. Basically, yeah. Then we're into Shooting Star, and this has Halestorm. That's right. My girl Lizzie Hale. And the rest of those amazing musicians, featuring Paul Rogers. Paul Rogers does the acoustic guitar, according to the video, if you go by the video. Paul Rogers is doing the acoustic guitar work and the background vocals. Shooting Star, man, I love this song. This is such a great song. Really sad song, though, man. This is one of those songs. This song inspired me of a new series I might be looking at. Tell me if you're interested in, where I'm going to take a deep dive on songs where the lyrics are not what you actually think they mean. Because, I mean, Shooting Star, if you listen to the song, it sounds like such a wonderful, triumphant kind of song, you know, about being this big shooting star, but it's really not. As for this, so let me know if you want me to do deep dives into the odd song here and there, where the songs just surprise the hell out of you when you go and, you know, listen to the actual lyrics. Halestorm, first off, Can't Do Wrong by Me. There are very few covers they have ever done where I've kind of gone, and I've done reviews for them, so you can go watch the reviews. Shooting Star is fantastic. Liz is beautiful on it. Everybody in the band sounds great on it. And I really like that Paul Rogers got in on it. Yeah, it was great. Then we got Feel Like Making Love, Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. I love when Miles Kennedy covers other people's stuff. Miles opens up with his voice and he really lets go and he sounds great. It doesn't matter if it's Bad Company. It doesn't matter if it's GNR. It doesn't matter if it's Velvet Revolver. The only time I ever seem to have an issue with Miles Kennedy is on songs that are co-written with Miles Kennedy. That's a weird thing, the way that happens. I can't explain it. With Feel Like Making Love, I was a little surprised on this one. I expected it to have a little more punch in it when it went into the choruses. I think I've talked about this before, where when Paul Rogers was touring with Queen, when they did Feel Like Making Love, they punched it in such a way on the choruses where it just came down so thick and heavy and it sounded amazing. And with it being Slash, you know, and Miles Kennedy, I was kind of expecting that with it, but they played it a little safer and went a little more closer to the traditional version, which was really cool. I was really, really happy to see Running with the Pack on here, man. That was really cool to see. And there are a couple songs that got left out because songs like Running with the Pack are on here. Running with the Pack features Blackberry Smoke featuring Paul Rogers and Brian Daylor. Blackberry Smoke, the first time I ever heard of them was when they inducted Bad Company, or when they were one of the bands that helped play in for the induction ceremony of Bad Company at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Blackberry Smoke does a great job of running with the pack. I mean, really good job of doing running with the pack. Absolutely just brilliant. The Struts do Rock and Roll Fantasy. I thought that was really good. Yeah, very faithful. Very, very faithful rendition. Really good. Then we got Charlie Crockett doing Bad Company. Now, I don't know Charlie Crockett. I know he's country, but I don't know Charlie Crockett. Never listened to any of his stuff. Maybe I've heard one or two of his songs played somewhere. I don't know. It's a maybe. What I will say is he definitely did a more country rendition of Bad Company, which is cool with me though. It has kind of that outlaw country-ish kind of vibe to it, which is really kind of cool and badass. And because Five Finger Death Punch did it, I mean, I know they did it a while ago, but because they did, their version of it was so thick and heavy and strong, we really didn't need a band on here doing a big, thick, heavy version of it. So a band doing kind of outlaw country version of it, that works for me. I can deal with that. I've never heard of Dirty Honey before, but their version of Rock Steady was pretty well done. Burning Sky, Blackstone Cherry. Okay, another song. Could not believe when I found out that one was on here. I really, really dig Burning Sky. And Blackstone Cherry does a really, really good version of it. Sorry, just give me a second here. Burn in the Sky is one of those songs that I really just kind of dig. It's got this great kind of funk to it as well, you know. You can dance on it, you know. It's kind of just really cool that way, man. And this version, like I said with every other one, basically, we're very faithful. Seagull, Joe Elliott and Phil Collins featuring Paul Rogers and Simon Kirke. So half a Def Leppard. Another one I was surprised. Seagull, last track off of the Bad Company album. Not a song I was overly excited about with Bad Company, but a song I can still appreciate all the same. This version really kind of caught me. Really enjoyed it. You know, like, may have enjoyed it more than the original kind of enjoyed it. I have to go back and listen to it. Listen to them both back to back and double check, but I think I may actually enjoy this version a little more. And then we got the Pretty Reckless doing All Right Now. Bad Company, not Free, Bad Company. Now, I do know that Bad Company, because half of Bad Company was comprised of the band Free, I know that they did perform All Right Now, okay? So it can be excused. I love the Pretty Reckless as well. And when I first heard it, I listened to the version on YouTube, and I've said this a million times, and I fall for this trap every time myself. Don't listen to music on YouTube and judge the versions on YouTube. I really, really disliked hearing this song when I was listening to it on YouTube. The production on it sounded horrendous. It sounded like every last part was recorded 100% separately from everything else. No one was anywhere near each other, and they all hated each other. That's kind of really how it sounded coming through YouTube. Now, when I picked up the CD, thank God that wasn't the problem. The band sounds like the band's together. Taylor sounds like she was recorded in a sound booth separately, which is standard, but it wasn't mixed very well because you can hear she's recorded separately. The other thing I don't like is when they go into the choruses, instead of having Taylor multi-track herself, it sounds like what they did is they did a copy and paste and they offset the timing on the tracks by 1 to 2 frames. The reason I know this is a technique I used to use all the time in my old band with my lead guitarist to thicken up his guitar sound and make it sound fuller. I used to take his guitar line, and he could never replicate the same guitar line twice or even get close to the same guitar line twice. So I'd have to take his guitar line and I'd copy and paste it 2 to 3 times, and I would offset it usually it was 2 frames to thicken it out a little bit. Each track would be offset by 2 frames. So if I did it 3 times, it'd be track 1 would be set at 0, track 2 would be set at 2 frames later, track 3 would be set at 4 frames later. The Taylor Momsen vocals on here sound like it's 3 tracks, 1 dead center, 1 panned hard left, 1 panned hard right, and the 2 panned hard left and hard right, I think it's 1 frame on one side and 2 frames on the other side. I could be wrong. It might be 2 and 3. They don't sound like they're off by 2 frames. They sound like they're only off by 1 frame for the most part. But I really don't like it. Taylor's got a great voice. She should have been able to multi-track it and make it sound rich and full, no problem. And I don't understand why they didn't do it. I really don't. I don't know why they went with such a cheap approach of just, or maybe they didn't even do that. They might have just hit a pedal, had it come out through a pedal and split to go wide. I don't know what they did in the studio, but whatever it was, I don't like it. I think it makes her voice sound cheap. And it cheapens the song in general. They all should have just been sitting there in the booth with her doing the choruses. I am disappointed with the choruses. And that says a lot when, basically here we're going, I talk a lot about how much I love Halestorm, and I talk very much about how much I loved The Pretty Reckless when they started. They've kind of fallen off with me a little bit. The albums haven't been very consistent the last couple. But I still very much have the utmost respect and love for Taylor Momsen and her style of singing. And to go from Liz on Shooting Star, where it's like, she just nails it out of the park, to Taylor on All Right Now, where it feels like she just kind of did it cheap and thrown in there. It really kind of sucks and hurts for me a little bit, like two honestly, not, 2 of my favorite songs sang by Paul Rogers. Like 2 of my top 10 Paul Rogers sung songs, and not hitting the way that they should, just it's a bummer a bit. Anyways, folks, let me know what you think. Am I being too hard on Taylor on this? I mean, it is sad that The Pretty Reckless was the song I had the least love for because of the production on it. It really is sad. And my favorite on here, I don't know if I have a favorite on here yet. By default, I want to say Halestorm doing Shooting Star because it's Halestorm. But Running with the Pack and Burning Sky were both really good. Seagull's really good too. So I can be anywhere on this. I don't know, folks. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. That's what the comment section is for. On your way down, there's a couple links worth checking out. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. If you could hit those, please. They help out me. They help out you. They help out the world. Other than that, peace, love, take care.